Welcome again, everybody. As promised, every weekend I am going to discuss the topic that I had prepared, and this is in connection with the soul, which is the subject matter of my book. My first book, Spice Up Your Soul, and there is an upcoming book that elaborates uh, the function, the importance and function of the soul for us human beings. No matter what you do, people do a lot of things. They study, they want to have knowledge and to have degree. They look for money. There are even books that talk about how to become a millionaire. Oh, if you know how to communicate with your soul knows the deepest longing of your heart. Who knows? Uh, when in your constant communication with your soul, He will give you the chance. He will give you the idea. He will give you the wisdom. What we learn from our soul, if we communicate with it, is we will have wisdom. Now, the topic that I'm going to discuss today is learning to communicate with our soul. It is not necessary if whether you are a very religious or you belong to a religious sect that you have to know about the soul. What is important is you understand that we are souls. You are soul. The essence of being human is soul. And we have to acknowledge that fact because only in acknowledging that fact that we are souls that we can have understanding, we can have wisdom in this life. Because all we have is the knowledge that the outside world is offering us. We are influenced by people, by what we read, by the media, by what is happening, you know. But then we don't know. We have no idea what the soul wants to do for us. Because if we communicate, we know how to communicate with our souls, we will have that's the only time that we can relax. We'll be free from stress because we trust, we have this kind of trust, this kind of faith. All right. By definition, communication has 3 points. Communication is an interaction between two parties, two people, or one person to another person, or to an audience, and that is an interaction using a medium of instruction or a medium of, say, let's say language, whether written or spoken. We use language to express our ideas and our feelings, and for the other party to understand what we are trying to express. And then they interact. One listens, the other talks, and vice versa. And the main objective is to arrive to a certain degree of understanding. Uh, Whether that understanding is in agreement with both with their ideas or a disagreement. Now, if we use communication to our soul, it is We are talking to ourselves. It's still two parties in the sense that our physical or our conscious mind is communicating to the hidden one. The soul is hidden in the deepest chamber of our heart. It lives there. And you cannot just tell it in words like, hey, I want to win the lottery, or I want to have this money, and then it can hear. No, it cannot hear. The soul can only hear what you are saying to it if you say it with feelings. And what are these feelings? What kind of feelings? Any feelings, even in anger. But most often, if there is something we need, most often we communicate to our soul by when we are in some difficult time. If we have problems, if we need wisdom, if we need understanding of any situation in our lives, that is the very effective time to communicate to our soul. Um, so, what feelings do we have when we talk to our soul? While we are talking to our soul, the feeling would be some sort of anxiety or fear or worry. Let's say you will say, "Oh my gosh, I don't know what to do next. I don't know what is going to happen to me. I don't know how I am going to support my children. Uh, I don't know how am I going to send them to school. I have no job and I have no money." Those are worries, feelings of worry. But then that is how you approach your soul. You communicate with it in that kind of feeling of even sadness, And then once you already have expressed your feelings, your worries to your soul, you express it in word, can be in silence, or you can write to it, or you just murmur it like a murmur of prayer. And then after you say it, you relax. You relax and you listen to your feeling. And then when you listen to your feeling, when you relax, better yet, you go to sleep. Do not repeat what you say to your soul, because if you will repeat, you are just immortalizing the worries. So do not repeat. You have said it already, and then you relax and you wait for the answer. The answer will come to you in forms of uh, ideas, intuition. That is what I say about intuition. Some people would call it gut feeling. Ah, this is what I'm going to do, something like that. And but then you have to relax. You wait for your soul to communicate the message to you. The message, okay, so our objective here is learning, learning how to communicate with your soul. Okay, when you communicate with your soul, the first requirement is to be in silence. Our minds have many clutters. Sometimes the wordings of the music you are listening to, sometimes the the argument of your neighbors, or sometimes when you argue with some people, and then there are many clutters in the mind. You have many there are many talks there. Maybe it's not loud, but you know it's there. It's in the mind. That is normal. Okay. So in these 3 points that I'm going to discuss, when it comes to communication, one is the expression or expressing thoughts or ideas and feelings to your soul. When you express, you say something like, it's like a murmur of prayer. Say, for example, you have a problem and you need some amount of money and you don't know how you're going to get that. Say, oh Lord, how am I supposed to resolve this situation? I need 20,000 pesos for this, but I don't know where and how to get it in my own capacity right now. I know that you are all knowing. You have to acknowledge the power of the soul. I know that you are all knowing and that you can resolve this situation, my problem, because in my own limited capacity, I cannot do it by myself. The only problem when you do that is there are so many clutters in your head. They will they'll say, "Oh my God, you're crazy. You're talking to yourself. Oh my God, what? You will just sit down there. Why won't you stand up and go to your rich friend and ask help from him?" That is the common common behavior of a person who is in need for money. You will borrow, but you think your problem is solved by borrowing. No, you just extend it or maybe multiplied it, because the money you borrow, you're still going to pay it. When you resolve a problem, it has to be complete. It has to be cleared. It has to be settled. And the soul would know how it is going to happen. And after you say that to yourself, you may not get the answer immediately as you expected. So try not to expect. Better yet, forget about it. Forget about the problem. Feel, just feel and trust like, I already had told my soul about my problem. So it is solved by now. Tell yourself problems resolve themselves. And then after you have that is how you're going to express your co- communication to the soul through your thoughts, or maybe you write it down. I remember there was some time I have to insert this kind of experience. At that time, I really feel like I need 50,000 pesos. Okay, in dollars, it is something like $1,000. But I had no penny. I had no money. And the reason why I needed 50,000 pesos is because I wanted to help my son. At that time, uh, he still he was still not really earning enough to support his family. And when that happens, his wife would come to me and ask me some money to buy milk for the twins. They have twin babies, very cute twin babies. The twins, my grandchildren now who are now in college, they were babies at the time, 5 months. And then, so I just wrote down in the paper. It's a form of affirmation. I said, I now have 50,000 pesos in my position. That's all I wrote. And then later on, My daughter-in-law came to the house. And then he saw this. Then I just put the paper there. I just relaxed. I continued to do something. It was a handicraft I was doing at the time. And I just continued doing it. Then forget about what I wrote. Then my daughter-in-law came. She said, she saw the paper where I wrote that statement, that affirmation. She said, because at first she said, Mama, the babies have no milk. I said, don't worry about that. The milk will come in a while. I will leave the babies to you. It's up to you. They are crying because they're hungry. And then she saw the paper, and then when she saw the paper, she said, Mama, you have 50,000 pesos here. Why won't you give me money? Then I said, okay, just be patient. It will come. I don't know. I really have that kind of faith when I say something. Once you've developed that faith, many miracles will happen in your life. And then, so she left. Then I bought milk for the babies. When she came back, I returned to her the babies. They went home. Mama, where is the money you're going to give me? I said, just be patient. Then, but in actual, I had no money in my position at the time. My late husband, Adrian, was still alive at the time. When he heard the babies crying, he said, where are the babies crying? I said, they're hungry. We have no milk. You buy milk there. Leave the babies here. You buy milk. Because Adrian had money, if only for the milk. And then that evening, I had this friend, my buddy in, what is that club that we were members? I can't remember the name. And we were buddies, we were friends. And then it was already 6 o'clock in the evening. And she was calling me. She said, Jenny, uh, what are you doing here? Why are you always here? Come on, come with me. Let's go out. We'll attend a party. And I really did not feel like, what, attend a party? I'm not in the mood to attend a party. When my mind was, but then something in my head says, oh my God, you relax. So I told Lilia, I said, Lilia she just came. I have not seen her for 2 years. And she just came home from the US at the time to visit. She had a son, a doctor in America, and she spent vacation in the US. And Lilia was very rich because she was Chinese, Lilia Lau, and they have a subdivision in Angeles City. And then she said, what are you doing here? You're not even, look at you. Did you take a bath? I said, okay, if you can wait for me, I'll take a bath and then I will dress up. I'll go with you. And then, so when I was done, I went with her. It was just across the road. It was a casino. I didn't know a casino. I had never been in a casino before. I don't know what people are doing there. And then I said, what are we doing here? She said, these are the relatives of my husband, Chinese. It's Chinese New Year now. So it was Chinese New Year. I think that was February. We will attend the Chinese New Year party. They have a party here. But then I get bored. I said, oh, I said, okay. So that you will not get bored, I will give you these two tubes. Two tubes of tokens. They're tokens, coins. Its token was 2 pesos. And two tubes. She said, come here. I said, what is that very noisy there in the other room? She said, She said, come here. And then she brought me there. And then there are machines, slot machines. I did not know yet if they were what they were at the time. She said, you sit down here and you drop 3 coins and then pull this. There was a plug there that you're going to pull. That was at the time. I said, what's going to happen here? I said, don't ask anymore. Do not leave that place until I come back. If you run out of coins, she said, then just sit here. I will get you here. I will not be very long, she said. I said, okay. So I sat down there and did as she instructed me. 3 coins. And then the first 3 coins, I said, what's happening here? Nothing. Then the second, that's it. The third drops, the third set of 3 coins that I dropped, the machine suddenly went wild. I said, oh my God, I think I have destroyed this machine. And all the people were standing. They were flocking around me. Then they said, oh my God, she won the jackpot. She won the jackpot. I said, what is a jackpot? I didn't really know what was that. And you know how much was the price? 150,000 pesos. You see, I wrote only 50,000. What came out was 150,000. Oh my God, I really was feeling very, very rich at the time. It was really unforgettable time. And then, so when I came home, I gave some money to my daughter-in-law. And was it a coincidence? If it happened only once like that, maybe coincidence. But I have so many experience. Not in the gambling. That was only incidental. I had so many incidents in my life when, especially when money is a problem and you have really the need, just write down, but in the form of affirmation. The form of affirmations like that. I said, I now have 50,000 pesos in my position. And then I relax. And then I give some of the money to Lilia. And then that was really a very, that is just one example of how the soul makes miracle when it in our lives, when it knows that you are really in need in a given time. And then, so that is in expressing our, if you want to communicate with our soul, you should murmur, or you should murmur to yourself or write down to yourself what you want to happen. And then forget it. Just leave it there. Trust that there is going to be an answer, whether it is what you expect or better. There is always an answer once you have developed that kind of faith. Because the soul does not listen to just words. Although you have to write that, to say that in words, because that is how we communicate. But the soul can only understand, can only hear what you're saying to it if you say it in faith. Faith is the loudest medium of communication to our soul that our soul can hear. Okay, so the second point the second point is, that is faith. You say the words quietly or written, and then with feelings, the feelings of worry at first or anxiety, and then once you are through saying the words or writing them down, have peace. That kind of peace that, oh my God, thank you. I have a soul that I can give my worries to. I am not alone. And then the medium of expression is faith, because faith is the strongest and most effective carrier of any miracles in our lives. When you have faith in your soul, faith in yourself, faith in the soul that you have, or faith in yourself, because we are the soul. We are souls in the form of a human being. We are all souls. So you have faith. And then there are methods in order for us to be heard by our own soul, so that our soul can do miracles in our lives. We have to have faith. So how are we going to develop faith? We can do that in the form of affirmations. But there are many types of affirmation. Some types are effective to some people, but not very much to others. Here I am presenting to you two methods of affirmation. The first method is the one I had discussed before, the first, second, third person affirmation, and you do that 20 times in a day and 28 days. When we do that, even if you don't believe what you are writing, if you just continue, later on, our soul will be convinced that we really believe, even if you don't believe at first. But it's normal to human beings uh, to learn by repetition. That is why when you write there, for example, your name is Maria, and you want to be rich, because being poor is horrible, and rich for you is you are earning, let's say, 50,000 pesos a month. You're already rich by that. So you would write first person, I, Maria, am now rich. I am earning 50,000 pesos a month. Second person, you, Maria, are now rich. You are earning 50,000 pesos a month. Third person, she, Maria, is now rich. She is now earning 50,000 pesos a month. Why first, second, third person? Because the philosophy behind it is we are three in one. We are three in one. The body, the material body, the soul, and the connection to the spirit world, to the spiritual essence of the whole universe. So that should be first, second, and third person. Another method is, for example, your affirmation is you want to be rich. Then it's okay if you won't mention your name. You'll just say, I am rich. I am now rich. You write it down. I am now rich. then something in your head would say, liar! You don't even have money in your pocket. You write that down under the statement, I am now rich. Write down what you hear from your other side of liar. You are now liar. You don't even have money. Then you write again, I am now rich. Then another thing would come. Oh my God, why am I writing this? This is not true. Then just write. And then next, up to 20 times, I am now rich. Until your comment inside your head will vanish. There is nothing more that it can say. It gets tired of opposing you. Then you do that every day for 28 days until the mind clutter will be exhausted. There is nothing anymore that it can say. Just continue saying, I am rich, I am rich, I am rich. And I say, I am rich. Crazy, I am rich. Liar, I am rich. That's not true. I am rich. You don't even have money in your pocket. I am rich. Just continue until the opposing clutter in your head will be tired, because for you, there's only one statement you're saying, I am rich, I am rich, I am rich. But then the opposing, it will be exhausted, the opposing clutter. Okay. If you do that kind of, that method of affirmation, it's really fun. And that's the point there. Do it in the spirit of fun. Why do you say I'm rich? If something you say ambitious, you don't even have a, there are, you just say I am rich. Then you will ask, so will I become rich because of writing that without doing anything? It's not really not doing anything. Just like I said, the effort is from within. You start believing because what you believe becomes you. Becomes you. The soul, when it creates miracle, has a way of presenting to you situations or opportunities that you begin working on. Or suddenly you will have an idea. Ah, yes, I do this. And then you feel very sure. Sometimes, no, I don't like to do that. But then there is a force. The soul is an energy. There is a force that drive you to do that. Um, there is another experience I had that I cannot really forget. And these are evidence of the power, the miracle of the soul that is working within us. There was one time when I was a fresh graduate, and I was already teaching in uh, vocational school, but I wanted to teach in a public high school. So I did everything. I submitted my application, my transcript. I had undergone interviews and demonstration, and I did that for 3 months. So it's not really like I did not do anything. I did what what I know to do. And then suddenly, when I passed by the division, it says no vacancy, no vacancy. And there were 250 applicants to teach, and there is no vacancy. Whoa, I was really discouraged. I was really crying. And then when I woke up in the morning, after I saw that no vacancy sign there, the next day I was really sobbing when I woke up. And then my husband at the time, my first husband, he said, "Why are you crying?" I said, "Because I did everything, nothing happens, and I saw in the division it says no vacancy." Then my husband at the time, he said, "Is your faith exhausted already? If the job is for you, nothing can stop you even if there is no vacancy." Then I don't know why suddenly I felt like, yeah, how can I forget? He said that your employer is not the division. Your employer is God. He said, yes. And he will assign you wherever he would want you to go. I said, yes. So suddenly I felt better. That kind of a peace, that feeling better, that is the faith that is hidden in the innermost part of your heart. And then he said, you better go to Gaisano. Gaisano at the time was the mall in Iligan City. You better go to Gaisano and buy me a hair dye. I need hair dye now. I said, okay. So I just went there, not changing my clothes. I was just wearing house dress and slipper. And I had to commute because we had a car, but the driver was absent on that day. So I went to Gaisano, and after I bought the hair dye, I hailed a jeepney going home. It was really very hot at the time. And then this jeepney was it runs, it stops, it was not working correctly. Then I was angry. What's going on here? Why is your jeepney crazy? And then the driver was trying hard to please us passengers. Then I had no patience at the time because I was hot headed because I cannot get the job that I wanted. So suddenly the driver said, "Okay, all of you passengers get out from my jeepney because my jeepney is not working anymore. Take this to I'll have to bring this to the shop." Oh my God, the more I was angry because it was very hot and I did not bring an umbrella. When I got down, I just realized that the jeepney stopped right in the stairway, right in the opening of the division where we had to apply the job. I was angry because I will see the no vacancy sign anymore. It was already 12 o'clock. And then I said, why am I here? Division. I didn't like to see the division anymore. But then I don't know what came into my head, as if some power pushed me to go upstairs. I just, okay, because I am here, I'll just go upstairs. Then most of the people working there were already gone. They were going for a lunch break. Then when I went there, I heard these two women discussing. They were in the bathroom. They said, "You know what? They're liars. They said there is no vacancy. There are three vacant positions in Suarez High School." In Suarez High School? I have not been to Suarez High School, but I had a friend there. In fact, we were both members of the Baptist Church. Mrs. Hiner said, "Oh, Suarez High School. I know somebody there, Ma'am Hiner. I will just go to Suarez." That idea came in my mind. I'll just go to Suarez to inquire if there is really a vacancy there. Then when I came down from the division, there was this jeepney. The conductor was yelling, "One more vacant seat, one more vacant seat. We are going now. Suarez." I said, "Suarez? Okay." So I hailed the jeepney and then I sat in that one vacant seat. That was the beginning of my teaching in Suarez High School. See, that is how our soul creates miracle in our lives. You are just pushed to do something that you have not planned. How would I know Suarez there is vacancy or what? I already had cried in the morning. It was the feeling, very sad feeling that I cannot get a job. And when I came home in the afternoon, my husband was asking me, "Where did you go? What took you so long?" He said, "I have good news for you." Said, "What is that?" "I will have an appointment this Monday. I will talk to the principal. And I know I will get that job. I will be a public high school teacher." Then I was very happy. There are many miracles in our lives when we know how to communicate with our soul. Just remember, words, affirmation with feelings. Your feeling may be sad as you communicate to the soul, but after telling your soul what you desire, what you really want, then uh, feel the peace, feel that kind of faith that what you ask will come to you in perfect timing. Okay, so that's it for today. Till next Sunday. My topic next Sunday is how to develop the faith that creates miracles. See, what I'm telling you is I include some examples because I know this kind of faith works miracles in our lives. We will never feel lonely, alone, or helpless. I have watched in YouTube those who committed suicide because he said leaving a suicide note. There is just nothing I can do. I don't know what to do anymore. Uh, my husband is treating me like rubbish. If you are close to your soul, you're communicating with your soul, who will treat you like rubbish? Your soul will be singing, I'm a child of the king, a child of the king. You're a princess or a prince. You're a child of the king of this universe. I remember, no, okay, there are many things I can remember. This verse, I grew up with the verse, if somebody is angry with me or would like to fight me, these words would come into my head. God is on my side. Who can be against me? That is how you are going to develop faith in yourself. Tell yourself, tell your soul, or affirm what you believe in the deepest. Tell it only good things. Do not say, "Oh, I'm just not good. I am a coward. I am a." No, 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 no. Don't say that because that is what is going to happen to you. Uh, don't say, many people look down to me because I am not educated. I am not a professional because I am poor. Oh, do not say that. I had this student before because I said, don't say I have no money. Ma'am, what if somebody will borrow money and then we really have no money to lend? First, we will say, I have no money. Don't say I have no money because you will always have no money. Just tell her or him, if he borrows money and you have no money to lend, say, I have no money to lend to you. That is different from I have no money. Okay. So that is learning to communicate with your souls. It should be with feeling. And the loudest medium that the soul can hear is faith, trust, and faith. That's why my next topic will be how to develop the faith that creates miracles. Okay. Bye-bye for now. God bless everybody.